What is up everyone, Parax here, and today I'm playing in the Type 64. I'm platooning with Joe Bob and Dirt Dog. Joe Bob is also in a Tier 6 light tank, and Dirt Dog's playing a Tier 8 premium medium tank. So we're here on Pearl River, and we're all going to head to the middle of the map. That's because, in my opinion, it's the most important part of Pearl River. So when me and Joe Bob get up here, we're immediately going to run across to their side of the map to try to spot any heavy tanks that are slow and trying to cross the 0 line to get up into that heavy tank brawling position. I feel this is a really good early position for light tanks or fast medium tanks, just because you can get off some early shots and put your team in the lead right from the beginning. So I'm going to head up here, try to spot some of their tanks. I don't see anything initially, but I do spot an IS-3 and an IS-6. So we're going to try to get a couple of shots off on those guys as they cross the bridge. Fortunately, that doesn't work too well. I only got one shot off on the IS-3, but oh well, at least it was some damage. Now I do stay here a little longer than I should. That's not really the best idea, because if anybody did get across the bridge and you didn't spot them, they'll push up like this 416 does and try to kill you. So you see what I'm doing here. I'm switching the camera, looking behind me, looking in front of me. I want to make sure I'm not going to run into anything behind me, and I don't want him to shoot me in front. So I just want to keep an eye on both of the directions there, just to make sure I'm safe. Now Dirt Dog's going to go up ahead, try to save the light tanks from further damage, and we're going to try to take out this 416. So if you look at the minimap right now, we have a T-34 and a T-32 pushing up into our middle, and we have the 416, IS-3, and IS-6 down on the 9 line. So we want to try to take out those guys down there as fast as we can. That way we can push back around up to the middle and try to take out the T-32 and T-34. Now Dirt Dog does a bit of YOLO here. I have no shots on the 416, so I took some shots on the, well, one shot on the AFK Churchill 7, but Dirt Dog decides that he wants to dive and try to Goomba Stomp the 416. It doesn't work out too well because he misses, and the 416 doesn't lose any damage to that Goomba Stomp by Dirt Dog. So while Joe Bob sits there and tries to pad his win 8 by farming the Churchill 7, I actually do something effective and head over here and try to clean up this flank. So I do see a T-28 prototype, and I decide that this is my immediate threat. So I do bounce a couple of shots off of him, mainly because I wanted to go for the tracks just to immobilize him. It doesn't work out too well on the rear wheels, but I am going to track him here because he does miss me. And it's really important that you go for the track shots if you're in a tight one-on-one situation like this. Even though the track shot might not do damage, you're going to get a lot of damage off if you can get around your opponent, or just kind of poke and shoot like I was doing there, since his gun couldn't really come to bear on me. So now I have a decision to make. I see the IS-6 is pushing down that road, and the T-28 prototype is over here, kind of in between this rock. He's on the other side of it. So I do pull back, get a shot off on the IS-6, but I want to keep this T-28 prototype on his toes to prevent him from coming all the way up around that rock and shooting us in the back. So what I do here is I pull back. I don't really have any intention of poking out and shooting at him. I want to make him think that I do. That way he stays down here and I can move on, safe from him, and get shots on the 416 and IS-6. So I know the IS-6 just shot, the 416 just shot relatively a little bit earlier, so I know I'm kind of safe to pull around and get some shots on those guys. Alright, now that Joe Bob has came down, he's going to circle around this T-28 prototype, finish him off, and we're going to head back up to the middle to try to help out our guys who are on pretty low health from their full health, almost full health, to Tier 8 heavy tanks. So I'm going to go around this way, and Joe Bob, he starts coming with me, but then he decides he's going to head around the other flank with the IS-6. And that's really a good idea, because once we get up here, if those heavy tanks push on us up to one of these little pathways, then we can just do a bait and switch type thing, where one of us pokes out, they look at us, other one shoots, they turn around to look at him, and so on and so on. Now, I tried to get a tracking shot off on this T-34. His tracks must be really tough for my gun. I finally get it, and I was definitely gonna take him out there, but their T-32 decides to push up on me, and thank God the Arty shoots and tracks him. So now that he's tracked, I'm a little safer. I can't fall back because his gun would be able to shoot me. So Joe Bog comes around, turns his turret, and I'm able to get some shots off on this T-32. And now we have a major bounce fest on this guy. I switched away from APCR mainly because I thought Joe Bob would have it at the T-32's rear, but he finishes him off on the side. Now I don't know exactly where this T-34 is, so I'm going to try to head down here and get some shots off on him. Unfortunately, he is... I don't want to try a... It would have been so fun to jump off that ramp like Dirt Dog tried earlier in the match, but I really wanted to kill this Arty and the Bulldog. So I just want to talk about what I did and what I was thinking on the 8-9 line earlier. So when I went down there initially and saw the T-28 prototype, I really wanted to get him tracked because since he can't rotate his turret a full 360 degrees, I could track him there and just own him from the rear because he wouldn't be able to aim at me that way. It didn't work out, so I tried to go for the track again whenever he pulled behind that little ridge, and that worked out just as well for me, I think. I was able to track him and then get a couple of shots of damage off without him being able to shoot back at me. And then once he pulled forward, I wanted to kind of just pivot him and me around the rock, which would be the pivot point, because I saw the IS-6 coming down the other road, and I wanted to get at least 1 or 2 shots off of that guy. So once I got a shot off of that guy in the T-28 prototype, I saw him kind of trying to drive up to the upper road, and I didn't want him to go up there because he would have gotten a lot of shots off on me. So I wanted to kind of pull back, let him know that I was still there, and that way he wouldn't climb up the hill and he would just back up, giving me more time to go attack the 416 and the IS-6. So that's what went down there, that's what happened in my mind. And now I'm going to finish this Arty off in style. I know he just shot Joe Bob, my platoon mate, so I'm free to go up here and take as much, well, not as much time as I need, but a good amount of time to finish this guy off. And I see that he's only on 15 health, so I finish him off with the ram kill. And this was a pretty good game. I finished off with 2200 damage and 1300 XP, beating out all the other 29 players in terms of damage on both teams. And I really didn't think that I was doing that much damage in-game, so this is a pretty surprising result when I got back to the garage. But anyways guys, if you've enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, I'll see you next time.